Hello, my dear family members. How are you all? Hope you're all fine. Your loved ones are fine. You're enjoying good health and good life. And of course, even if there are some ups and downs, you have life in your hands. You have control over it. And for all those who have some tension, I really pray that you get out of it fast and um, things turn on well for all of you, for all of us, for me too, in every way. Okay, so all those who are not our family members yet, I pray the same for them as well. And all of you who are not yet family members, do become our family members by clicking the subscribe button on this channel, and you will find some organic healthy cooking on this channel, besides of course HR training workshops for soft skills that will give you improvement, that will groom your personalities further, and of course that will make you grow professionally as well. So I won't, in fact, education and training go hand in hand, and training should not be missed out at all. Just getting a degree doesn't mean you're educated. Being trained with the degree means you're educated. So that's why I've started this channel. I want to spread this training and personal grooming aspect around the world, and I want everybody to be trained well too, besides being educated. So that's my mission as well. Quickly subscribe to the channel, like and share also, and let's see what we have today in the mutton rice recipe for you. I have used mutton, goat's meat in it, and this can be made with any other meat as well. Can be cow's meat, can be any meat that you would like to, can be chicken, can be any other meat that you would like to use in it. Okay, so this is basically rice with meat, but I have made it with mutton, so I have named it mutton rice. Let's see how we cook these yummy, very nice, very filling mutton rice. Okay, let's first of all discover what ingredients we are going to use and need for cooking these mutton rice. Of course, besides rice, we are going to use these ingredients that are here in the picture for you, and I will tell you what they are. First of all, what I did was I took mutton, normal mixed mutton with bones in it. Okay, it was there are a few chops in it also, and one or two chops also, and some other mutton pieces as well. So it's mixed mutton with bones in it, and I took that, and what I did was I put it into my cooking pot, and I added water to it and salt to it, little salt to it, and I made mutton stock out of it, and I cooked it for a few hours till it became tender, and I took out the mutton stock. As you can see, I have this mutton stock ready with me now in a bowl here in front of you, and I have the mutton also in my frying pan in oil, because I'm going to brown that mutton. Okay, that's why it's in the frying pan in oil. So I have my mutton, boiled mutton with mutton stock ready here with me. This is what we are going to need. What I did was I put it in a normal cooking pot and let it cook for 2.5 to 3 hours on low heat. Okay, it was a clay cooking pot. Mine was a clay cooking pot, but you can do it quickly also in 10 to 20 minutes using a pressure cooker. Okay, I did it because I put the mutton on low heat in water before I went into the kitchen for breakfast. Okay, and by the time I was over with my other chores, this was also cooked. So you can do that if you want to. If you want to do it very quickly, you can use a pressure cooker. So the choice is yours. You can do it either way. And besides that, we have some onion sliced very thinly. Okay, as you can see, I have these are two big onions. You can see, say, three normal size, medium sized onions that you can take for this quantity of mutton, and rice, 2.5 glasses of rice I cooked. So for 2.5 glasses of rice, this much quantity of onion will be enough. It will suffice. Then I have 5-6 garlic cloves, big garlic cloves. And then I have coriander, fresh coriander. It's sliced, cut, chopped, and of course it's washed. You can see it. Then in the bowl, the glass bowl, you can barely see anything, but there is a teaspoon or 1.5 teaspoon of lemon juice in there that I'm going to use. Okay, and besides that, I have in the red petri dish, you can see dried coriander, powdered coriander, dried powdered coriander, and I have put it separately in a petri dish for a reason, and I will tell you that when we cook. Besides that, I have other spices as well, and the other spices are salt, and I have taken, and you can also take this much of salt. I think for rice everybody can take this much of salt. It's because I'm going to cook 2.5 glasses of rice. I have taken 2.5 teaspoons, full heaped teaspoons of salt. Then I have taken 1.5 teaspoon of red chili powder, and I have carom seeds here, just half teaspoon of carom seeds. Then I have half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon powder. I have 1/4 of a teaspoon of green cardamom powder. Okay, and I have half a teaspoon of black pepper powder. Besides that, I have cumin seeds here, almost 1 to 1.5 teaspoon of cumin seeds, and I have 2 big black cardamoms with me. These are all the spices that we are going to need. These are all the things that we are going to need to cook these mutton rice. And of course, rice obviously have to be there. Without rice, you cannot cook mutton rice. So you see the mutton that I showed you in a frying pan in oil. I have put it on the stove now. And why? Because I want to get it browned. Okay, on quite high heat, medium to high heat, I will brown it, or I will fry it. Because you know why medium to high heat? Because it's already tenderized. Okay, and I don't need to tenderize it further. I just need to brown it quickly so that the outer skin doesn't become hard, doesn't all the water, all the succulence, you know, of the meat doesn't ooze out of it. So that's why on high heat I'll brown it very quickly. I won't take time in it. Okay, so you can do that as well. This is the first step. We will get the mutton ready. While the mutton is getting browned, what I do is and you will take 2.5 glasses of rice. These are 2.5 glasses of rice. Measure them in a glass, and you then wash them with water and then soak them in water. Okay, as you can see, I've soaked my rice in water and leave them for 25 to 30 minutes. Now during those 25 to 30 minutes, we will do the rest of the preparations for cooking these rice. my mutton is brown and I have taken it out in a plate and it's resting on the shelf and I'll let it rest on the shelf for till the time we are going to put it into add it to the mutton stock in the while cooking the rice. Well, you will come to know about it anyways. And the garlic that I had taken, I have hand crushed it. Okay, you can see it's crushed now, the garlic. Then what I do is I take a cooking pot and I add almost 1 cup of oil in the cooking pot, and I add the onion to it, to the oil, because I have to brown it for making these mutton rice. To those onions I have also added the ground garlic, as you can see, and now I have mixed it up with a spatula. I will be using a spatula, steel spatula, to cook these rice. And I have added in the 2 black cardamoms. What I did with the 2 black cardamoms was I opened their mouths on one side. I did not spill out their seeds. I just opened their mouths and added them to the onions, the frying onions. Now the onions have to be a little browned before I add anything like meat or any other thing to it. Okay, so we are going to brown this garlic and onion, and of course I'm going to add other spices as well. All the spices that I had in the dish with me and I mentioned to you, told you about, they all go into the onions now. Okay, I put them into that my cooking pot, and I will mix them up. You can see they're all there in the pot, and I will mix them up and I will brown the onions. And you see here now my onions are brown. That's a brownish color, and I'm going to add meat to it now. I have added my already browned meat to the onions, and because the meat is already browned, so I'm not going to cook it any further. I'm going to add the mutton stock to it. And how much mutton stock? Because I took 2.5 glasses of rice to cook, that's why the quantity of the mutton stock that I will be needing for it is 3.75 glasses of mutton stock. Take the same glasses that you measured the rice with, take the same glass and measure the mutton stock in it. 2.5 plus half, 50% of 2.5 will go in, that is 1.25 plus 2.50 glasses of mutton stock, that is 3.75 glasses of mutton stock will go into it. You see now it's such a nice color, reddish, rustish color. So it is looking so beautiful. Now all this goes in, and what do we do after that? Let's see. Do you know we have already cooked spinach rice as well? So do you remember? At this stage, I'm going to add in the lemon juice that I told you. 1.5 teaspoon of lemon juice is going to be added to it. And I'm going to add in 1.5 teaspoon of ground powdered dried coriander that I kept separately in the petri dish. Why did I do that? Because I did not want to add that with the other spices. I wanted to add it at this stage, because if you add it in just the oil, you know what happens when the rice are cooked, you eat them, you feel as though some kind of sand is coming into your mouth if you put it in the oil directly at that stage while cooking rice. Not with other things, but with rice this happens. So I add it at this stage after I have added mutton stock to the onions and everything to them, and all these things. Then I mixed it up, and after that, now it's very hot. It has become hot, so hot that it's almost boiling. It is actually boiling. You can see the steam coming out. Okay, cover it after adding all the things to it. Let it stay, and then add cover it and then put it on high heat so that it comes to a boil. The water comes to a boil. Okay. So you see the mutton stock has come to a boil. It's steaming hot, and at this stage what we are going to do, we are going to add in the rice. First of all, because the rice was soaked in water, you drain out all the water and then you add those rice to your cooking pan, to your cooking pot, with all the spices and mutton stock in it. Okay, and mutton, of course, everything has gone in now except rice, so we're going to add in the rice as well. You see, I've added in the rice here, and after adding the rice, what you're going to do quickly, very very quickly, is you're going to take your spatula and you're going to move those rice in the stock 8 to 10 times. Because if you don't do that, you know what happens? The rice become lumps. Okay, and when rice lumps form, of course your rice are no good to serve. Okay, so don't let that happen. Move the spatula in the rice 8 to 10 times and don't let them make lumps. And rice will still be cooking at medium to high heat. And you see, on the left hand side of the image, the rice still has mutton stock in it. It's visible. And then in the image that's on the right hand side, we see that the mutton stock is almost drying up. Okay, and the rice are cooking now and they're becoming longer as well. So, and they are looking so beautiful. And ultimately we find that the mutton stock is almost dried out. At this stage, what we are going to do is we are going to put our cooking pot on a sizzling platter that we have already heated beforehand, because when we put in the rice, we also put our sizzling platter on high heat, on high flame on the other stove, so that it becomes really hot by the time the rice pot has to go onto the sizzling platter. And at this stage, when the rice is almost dried now, the mutton stock is evaporated and it's almost cooked, the rice, we are going to cover them with the lid and we are going to place them on our sizzling platter on very low heat. Okay, and we are going to leave them for 10 to 15 minutes. Just forget that you are cooking rice. Don't meddle with them now at all. Let the lid be there for 15 minutes at least, because if you uncover them, you're going to spoil the rice. Don't uncover them for 15 minutes on very low heat, as I've shown you in my stove. On a sizzling platter, place your cooking pot of rice. And here you go, your mutton rice are ready. And mutton rice are ready, and I've dished them out in a rice dish, and with it I'm going to serve them with yogurt raita. And the recipe of yogurt raita has also been uploaded on my channel. You can find it there, and you can make it with rice. Their taste is enhanced with yogurt raita, and well, they go hand in hand. That's why I have shown it to you as well. This is how I served it. This is how you can also serve it. And because if you don't know the recipe is there on my channel. You can find that recipe. This is also a very yummy raita in which I use potatoes, tomatoes and onions and other spices as well. So go to that recipe, find that out, and then cook these mutton rice and make that raita and serve them to your family. Enjoy them yourself. Serve them to your guests, your friends, your guests in the hotel. Can serve them to anybody. Kids will also like them a lot. So it depends upon your need, upon your wish. Okay, do cook them and do tell me how you liked them. In the comment section you can mention, and I will love your good comments there. Also like and share the recipe and become our YouTube, all those who are not our YouTube family members, become our YouTube family members by subscribing quickly to the channel. And we wish you luck and wish you happiness. Take care. Cheers.